Video is to show you how to attach a cue staff to another part. So here we have a cue staff prepared in this score, and we decide that we might want to attach it to, say, the guitar part. The guitar part is mainly playing the melody, but we also want the guitarist to know what chords are being played and what rhythms in a certain part of the chart. Now the first thing to do is to make sure that no dynamics or anything are attached to the cue staff, because you don't want a duplication of that. You will already have dynamics, things like that will be in the part itself. So the cue staff doesn't really have to include stuff like that. All it has to include are the rhythms and maybe the chord changes if you choose to have that. So we'll get rid of all those dynamics and everything. Okay, so here's what we do. We go to Document, Manage Parts, and then if there's a part there, you just remove that. And then you go to New Part. Say New Part, and then you edit its name, and you call it, let's call it Guitar and Cue. Give it some kind of name that allows you to identify what it is. Okay, now we're going to add to it. We add the cue staff, and then we'll add the guitar part. Okay, and then we say okay, that's all set now. And now we can go back up here to Edit Part, and we can edit the guitar and cue. And it's probably going to look like a mess at first, like this. We've got to do some formatting. Do is get our measures per line sorted out. In this, I think we decided in this chart we were mainly doing 4 measures per line. I think we're doing the last 6 all on one line. So we'll get your measures per line all sorted out. Then we have to get spacing happening. Now there's different ways of doing spacing. The first way would be to use Page Layout tool and click and drag over the outer handles and just get some spacing happening that way. Now what we have to do is get the spacing happening between the staff and the chordal cue staff. So the way we do that is with the staff tool. Grab the staff tool, and then if you do the upper staff, it will move everything, but if you do the lower staff, it will bring that lower staff closer to the upper staff. So we do some of that to get it closer to those kicks over time. And that's looking a little better, and this one probably should come up a bit. There we go. And now we're ready to deal with these extra bar lines here. These bar lines are sticking up like this. So the way we do that is with the measure tool. Click on that, double click, and choose a left bar line that is invisible. Say override group bar lines, in case you have a group bar line. And you say OK. And that gets rid of that one. And just do that on all of the ones that have a problem like that. Okay, so now that's looking better. And in this particular file, we do have a very large coda, which you may want to reduce the size of that. Now, a good thing to do is, again, with maybe the Page Layout tool, is to create a little bit of extra space between the end of the main form and the beginning of the coda. So it's a good idea to create a little space there to visually make it easier for the player to see that that's a different part. And then let's see, and then that's really it. Now we're sort of getting into the ballpark of having it formatted fairly well. You can see that there's some places where there's rests that we don't really need to show. Like if there's a whole measure of rest, you don't really need to show that with kicks over time necessarily, because it's down here. So you can hide these measures with the what we programmed as H. Go to the staff tool, and I'll control click, and this, what I referred to as force hide collapse. Now it's not going to collapse out of the way, but it will hide it. That will not show up. Same thing here for this one. You do want to show the rest when there is a rhythm in that measure. Here's another one that we could hide, and another one there that we could hide. Now, you'll notice that when I did that, the DSL coda went away. So in that case, what we have to do is move it out of the way temporarily so it's connected to a different measure, then hide it. In this case, that's right, it's attached to that measure. That's why we can't hide it. All right, we'll deal with that later. Now, the last thing, this isn't really part of this video subject, but it's that these are looking a bit big. So the way we fix that is by going into the measure tool and doing definition, edit definition, and just make the font smaller. So maybe something like 40. And that sort of solves that problem. Oops. Definition, and I'm going to do maybe like 20 here. That makes it smaller. Okay, so then there's the rest of the kinds of things one would do in formatting parts, like